There, welcome to News, Games, and More, IGN's daily live news show. What is it? Monday, July 27th, dawn of the final week of July 2020. I'm Damon Hatfield. Today I'm joined by Casey DeFritas,
Hey.
Terry Schwartz,
Hello.
and Seth Macy.
Oh, hi.
Hello, all there. We're feeling very Brady Bunch right now.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun stories to get through today, and not a lot of time to do it. So let's get right to it. I think our leading story today is PlayStation Plus games have been announced for August, and those games are Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, just the campaign part of it, and then also Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, which apparently was making quite a splash with its open beta over the weekend. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. It's available tomorrow on July 28th. What's interesting about this one is that this remaster came out just 3 months ago. And I saw some people in the comments saying they were a little bummed because they had actually just paid, I think, $30 for this. I played the campaign back in the day, 100 years ago when it was released. I don't. The thing that really stands out to me is the No Russia level, but not a whole a lot of other things still resonate with me today. Seth, how about you? Did you play the campaign back in the day for Modern Warfare 2?
Yes, I
Okay.
absolutely did. And I can tell you absolutely nothing about it because I don't remember it because it was all washed out by I played so much multiplayer of it that any campaign stuff just fell right out of the side of my head.
Yeah. Did you happen to pick up the remaster?
I did not pick up the remaster, but I will probably. I mean, it's a free game, and I have PlayStation Plus, so yeah, I'm gonna play this.
Well, it's funny you say that because I believe Terry has never downloaded a free game from PlayStation Plus.
What? David, are you gonna set up have you played it? No, I have not, and nor will I because I don't have PS Plus. No, I'm terrible. I have not played any of the games that they offer for free. I haven't subscribed for the service, and I think that it's because typically the games that I'm drawn to are just they'll take me months to beat. They're deep RPGs, though. Ironically, the joke I brought to this is that I still need to play the Final Fantasy VII remake, so I probably should catch up to that if they make that available through PS Plus eventually. But yeah, I mean, I thought that these picks were interesting. I see some people in the chat saying that they aren't super enthused by these games, but they're interesting ones for Call of Duty on the front that it's just the campaign, when it's usually the multiplayer, I think, to Seth, your point, is the thing that keeps people as engaged and playing a lot more regularly. So you'd think that maybe they would have some dangled carrot to allow people or encourage people to want to buy it after and continue playing the multiplayer, but just the campaign being offered here. But then obviously the other title that, that does have the campaign, the multiplayer element, that maybe people would want to pick up and keep playing after this free month.
Yeah, Fall Guys.
Fallout. News on the
Fallout Ultimate Knockout. Fall Guys is actually it's a brand new game. It's being released on August 4th, so that's when it will be available. And it's apparently a 60-player mini game battler that isn't a battle royale. And I know Red, our producer, is working behind the scenes, played it this weekend, and he could tell you all about it, but he's being very shy and he doesn't want to speak up. But anytime that Red wants to chime in and explain what this game is all about, we'd love to hear it. Casey, did you follow any of the Fall Guys banter that was happening over the weekend?
I've seen so many people tweet about it, and it looks like a ton of fun. I think it's a perfect game to come to PS Plus. These kind of games that need so many players at the same time almost need to be free to play to get that player base. And I know Rocket League did something similar, and there's a reason why the Battle Royale Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone is so successful, because it's free. So there are a ton of people that can go on and play, especially now more than ever, now that people have so much free time, but maybe not a lot of cash to spare. So these games are great. I mean, I'm definitely going to check this one out. I haven't been following it too closely, but kind of one of those passively oh, that looks like fun once it comes out. And now that it's going to be free, I'm definitely going to check it out.
I was just going to say, I think it's a good lineup this month. Two very different games. You get a brand new game, single player and multiplayer. I'm going to go ahead and say it's a good lineup.
Yeah. Even though I have to admit, I've actually never played a Call of Duty campaign before. I've only played the multiplayer. I've just never done it. I've always
Casey.
So now I can play through the campaign, and I think the campaign's only 3 to 4 hours long, so that makes me especially happy that it's free. But no, I've heard only good things about Call of Duty campaign. I think there's a reason why it's historically rated fairly well every year is because the campaigns are actually good, and maybe this will make more people actually check them out and play it.
I mean, they're like big action movies, lots of action movie set pieces. Like it's like playing a Michael Bay movie is sort of how they're always described. Seth, is that accurate?
Yeah, there's a guy with like crazy cool like sideburns that go
Yeah.
all the way up. They just
Yep.
don't stop. I don't know what you call that.
Sideburns go all the way.
They just go all the way into a mustache.
Past his head, just going up.
Just sideburns all the way down.
Okay, moving right along. IGN reviewed 3 new games today. First up is the Destroy All Humans remake of the, I believe, 2005 original. Dan Stapleton reviewed that for us, gave it a 7. It's available on everything except the Switch, I believe. And he said Destroy All Humans remake recaptures the simple, campy joy of rampaging through 1950s America as an angry, gray alien. I actually never played the original. Did any of you 3?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, you know, I think you all get the gist of it. You're the alien in this case, which is actually similar to another game that we reviewed today. But Tass is the alien. You're the one that's causing all the havoc. I remember them.
You destroy all the humans.
Yep. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Right.
I think it was probably about a 7 game when it was first released. So I never ended up playing it at the time of its original release. Don't know if I'll get to it now. But a game that we reviewed today that I was very, very interested in, and I do want to play, is Carrion. This is the reverse horror game where you are the monster, and it's a very, very gross looking monster. This checks all the boxes for me. I love horror movies. I love gore. I love pixel art. So like seems very, very cool. Mitchell Saltzman reviewed it for us. This one also got a 7, but I think maybe it has a very specific appeal to someone like me. So that might nudge it up to an 8 for me. I don't know.
Damon, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
I kind of tongue-in-cheekly refer to this as kind of like a gory Katamari. Is that completely wrong?
No, that's about, you know, you eat the people, and as you eat them, you're growing larger. So yeah, I think that's probably
Why
it.
Alright.
hasn't someone done like an X-rated, super gory Katamari?
Now
Yeah,
we got
maybe.
one in
Really
Carrion.
missed opportunity. Exactly.
Maybe this is it. I'm
Maybe.
wearing my Evil Dead 2 shirt right
Nice.
now. Seth is wearing his Cannibal Holocaust shirt. Seth,
Banned in over 50 countries. Yes.
are you interested in Carrion?
Yeah, I'm super interested in this. It like completely flew underneath my radar, and then all of a sudden everyone was talking about it, and I felt like a fool for not having heard of it until recently.
It's never too late to turn your life around.
I
Make
know.
better choices.
I've been spinning around for years.
Carrion is available on everything except PS4 right now. I don't know what Sony did to the
Yeah, I don't know.
Devolver Digital.
Well, they didn't put it on PS Plus this
I was gonna
month.
say
so,
it's
yeah.
next month's free game.
Yeah. Well, it is on Xbox Game Pass. So if you got an Xbox.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then
That's
the third
value
game,
in gaming.
that's true. The third game we reviewed today is something I never heard of, but looks really cool. It's called Other Side. It is available on all platforms. The Switch is coming soon. We gave it a 9. We have a freelancer review that for us. It's a tactical roguelike with a flair for the dramatic, full of satisfying combat, careful planning, and sometimes heart-rending decisions. That sounds like something I would definitely be interested in. So
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out too. And Casey, it's coming to Switch soon, this summer, apparently is what they said. 3 games reviewed today. Moving right along, we got some more details on a new handheld console coming next year, the Analogue Pocket. We've got pre-order details. This is that super fancy high-end handheld from boutique retro hardware maker Analogue. It's going to be available, or the pre-orders are going to go live on August 3rd. Previously, they did the Analogue NT, which is the HD I guess I don't even know what you call it, rebuild of the NES. They've done one for the Super NES, the Genesis.
Yeah.
And now this one isn't
so
just
cute.
like it looks really, really cool. It's not just a Game Boy or Game Boy Advance. This is going to let you play every handheld system ever made with the help of some adapters. This thing is very cool. It won't be cheap, of course. And
Oh no.
How much? How
that's
much are we
me.
talking?
That's me and Sam talking about.
I know.
the
I really love
Analogue
this B-roll. Look how happy you guys are. You're like hanging out with a bunch of consoles. They're like
Oh man.
totally vintage.
The old office
I've
days.
never seen Sam happier than he is in this video right now. I'm like falling in love with it.
Remember when we could go into the office and see our friends? face-to-face? Man. Anyway, the Analogue Pocket seems very cool. It's coming out in 2021. I'm not sure if we have an exact release date. Seth, do you know?
I think it's May is
gonna be May
when they're
next year.
aiming for right
This,
now.
by the way, this statement is what I brought my prop for that I
Oh,
ran
good.
away seconds before screen. So former IGN news editor Mitch Dyer was tweeting at Seth and I earlier today asking if anyone has copies of Golden Sun and Final Fantasy VI, which we're going to pretend is because of this system coming.
Okay.
The answer was yes, we both do. But in the process, I found my original Game Boy Advance.
Wow.
And like, first of all, but look at the color that's happening right now. Like,
Yeah,
this
what's
is like
going on?
disturbingly, something has exploded in this. So this is my segue to say maybe I should get this
Yeah.
this new console because things are like not working out super
Then
well.
you won't need a
Yeah.
you won't need a worm light to play in the dark anymore.
I know that's true. I had I had the big like hefty one that kind of came over the front. Now's the opportunity to make all these improvements that we needed many accessories for in the
Wait.
past. What? Oh, what were
Did you
gonna say?
never upgrade your Game Boy Advance to like the clamshell
I mean,
model?
I did. I got like I got like the SP and I moved
Okay.
beyond it. I'm up to the Switch now. But at the time when there weren't the additional models, I had like this big hefty like light that came over the front that like was very dim and didn't actually help when it was dark out. But I played it. It ruined my eyesight, but I played it.
Seth, you gonna try to pick up an Analog Pocket?
Yeah, I think I really want to get my hands on this, because I too have a complete in-box copy of Golden Sun that I played through when I was back in the Air Force, as a matter of fact. Maybe
game is
when
so
I
good.
was at work, but that's fine.
I actually never played Golden Sun, and I know, no reason I was avoiding it, just never got around to it. But I think I would like it.
I think
Yeah.
you would like it a lot. It like for the time looks. I don't know why we've co-opted this and made it a Golden Sun segment now, but Golden Sun is great. You will have time to play it when this new system comes out next year, and I would recommend it.
I played the
Maybe I'll-
DS like sequel to Golden Sun, and I loved that one. I never
Yeah.
finished the Game Boy Advance version though, because I was a kid. I was borrowing it. I didn't know what I was doing.
I actually entered the 256-bit code from Golden Sun into the sequel, so I
The
could
last
carry
stage?
over all my progress. And
Heck
somehow I
yeah.
didn't mess up the 256 characters. I got them right. So
Why was the code so long?
because there was just so much information that they had
Okay,
to
you're
pack in
carrying-
there. I think there was a way you could like link and make it
Yeah.
happen, but I didn't
Seth, I
have
think
the.
there was an easier way. I don't remember manually putting that.
I was just
code in at
flexing
the
to show off, like, hey, check out how many numbers I can enter into a Game Boy.
time.
It's a weird flex, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, but he
Uh,
can bring it up now, these many years later, live on the air to all our
That's true.
Finally.
rat fans. They now know. Now they know.
Let's move on to some video game adjacent news. Of course, there's a Witcher Netflix series today. A spin-off of that was announced, The Witcher Blood Origin, and it's going to be set 1,200 years before the time of the Witcher Prime. I'm calling it the Witcher Prime series. And it
You heard it here first.
It's going to be. It takes place a few hundred years after an event in the Witcher universe called the Conjunction of the Spheres, and Sam had to explain all this to me earlier today. And that's an event that sort of introduced a lot of magic and monsters into the world of that time.
It was the joining of a bunch of different parallel universes, and it brought
wow.
over magical creatures and like trolls and zombies and stuff
Oh,
into this
and
world.
humans.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And the elves say that's what brought humans to their world, and the humans say no, all of the nasty magical creatures came into our world, and it's up for debate depending on who you're talking to, I think.
But it it leads to a lot of like interspecies racism within the world
Yes.
of The Witcher. Like this is like a hugely impactful event, physically and figuratively within the world. And so it's like a really interesting time point to base a whole series around. It's like instead of waiting to the time of The Witcher when they're like working past it and you have characters like Ciri that have a really important role within like all these relationships between the different species. Now it's like the immediate fallout of that.
Yeah, I didn't know we had two Witcher experts on the show today.
I didn't read all those books for nothing, Damon. I came prepared for this segment.
I'm a
That's
dabbler. Terry is way more of an expert than I am.
Well, it's
Okay.
like, first of all, the
perfect.
showrunner for The Witcher clearly has a lot of time on her hands in quarantine, but kudos to her, Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, I think is how you say her last name. They announced, in addition to like working on the next season of The Witcher, there's also that anime movie that they announced earlier this year that she's co-working on. I think it's called Nightmare of the Wolf. And then obviously now this, which I think is what, Damon, 6 episodes is what they announced today?
Yeah, I think so. So
Yeah.
it's a limited series.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So, yeah.
presumably until it does super well, and then they're like, we want to know more of this world. But yeah, I don't know how you guys felt about The Witcher, like the pacing of The Witcher season 1. I didn't love it, but like clearly they were playing with a lot of different structural approaches to telling that story. And so, Casey, you knowing about the convergence of the spheres too, like I wonder if they're going to go a traditional 6-episode like linear model, or they're going to do a bunch of little like standalone stories set within that era. That could be really interesting.
Well, I know that it says it's gonna focus on how the first Witcher was created, and I'm hoping it follows that at least a little bit linearly with a little bit
Yeah.
less hopping around than it did in the
Mhm.
first season. I'm super interested in that. Like, how did they figure that out? Because I know there are like 3 trials and they're all terrible, and most kids who try to get turned into witchers die, and that's also why it's explained why there were no women witchers as well,
Right.
because they would die during that. So I kind of want to see like who it was crazy enough to take a bunch of children and experiment on them until they were able to fight monsters. Like, I'm curious what kind of person that is.
So I guess the story of how the first Witcher was created, is that a known story to us now, or is this something that they're going to be writing?
I mean, if it is, I don't know about it. I'm
Okay.
admittedly not like, for all that I did read all the books. I haven't read every last bit of lore around it, but the author of the books is involved in this new series. So I'm assuming if it is something new, it's at least based on a concept he has.
Yeah, and I'm a Witcher noob. I feel like most people out there have played The Witcher 3 and I've watched the series and I've read some stuff on Wikipedia that I was confused about, and that's about as far as my knowledge goes.
It's still confusing when you read the books, which is why we need these shows to explain how this stuff happened.
Well, and then even the shows can be confusing if you haven't read the books.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, the first like 3 episodes of that series, I was just very confused as to the timeline of it all.
Yeah, I was confused as well. Seth, did you watch the series?
I did not watch the series, and everyone keeps telling me that I need to because I would really like it.
I think if you like 90s fantasy shows,
Yeah,
I think
that's
you'd
what
like
everyone's
The
like.
Witcher.
Oh, if you like that Hercules, I was like, I loved
Hercules.
Hercules. You like Xena? I'm like, I like Xena even more.
Beastman?
Hercules with oh my god, Beastmaster, yes.
Beastmaster, that one. There you go.
Oh man.
If you want those shows but with the production value of Game of Thrones, then The Witcher is your show.
Well, sign me up.
I brought a quote for you too, Damon, that I thought was pretty interesting. It's from in addition to the showrunner of The Witcher who's working on it, the showrunner of this show, Declan DeBarra, said that the reason that he wanted to tackle this particular storyline was, quote, "A question has been burning in my mind ever since I first read the Witcher books. What was the elven world really like before the cataclysmic arrival of the humans? I've always been fascinated by the rise and fall of civilizations, how science, discovery, and culture flourish right before that fall. The Witcher Blood Origin will tell the tale of the elven civilization before its fall, and most importantly, reveal the forgotten history of the very first Witcher." So that sounds super interesting to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. Terry, what was your overall feeling of the season 1 of The Witcher?
Why are you throwing me under the bus? Everyone's going to be so mad at me. I had I binged all the books. I read them before to prep for the show coming out. I actually haven't played The Witcher 3. I just have started playing it since it's on Switch, but I'm not very far into it. So I'm kind of like the opposite of most other people at IGN. And I went into it expecting a more Game of Thrones serious story, but it was very campy, which just wasn't what I expected. And I think I need to rewatch it and give it another shot because I was missing Game of Thrones and wanting more Game of Thrones and was not expecting Hercules / Xena. But so many people loved it that I'm guessing that's a part of the Witcher 3 games tone that I was missing that maybe they brought into the show. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe The Witcher 3 as particularly campy. I actually never finished the series. It wasn't resonating with me. I watched the first few episodes and I was like, yeah. But Blood Origin sounds interesting. Give it a chance. Speaking of Netflix, they've just won a bidding war for the rights to a horror short story that was published on Reddit on r/NoSleep, which is a place for Redditors to share short horror stories. So this one is called My Wife and I Bought a Ranch. It was published in 6 installments on Reddit. Tells the story of a couple named Harry and Sasha who buy their dream ranch in rural Idaho, but soon discover that they're not alone in the mountains. This is pretty cool, Terry. This is the only instance I've heard of a short story being posted on social media being picked up to be turned into a
So
TV show.
I actually really love Our No Sleep, and there are
Yeah.
quite a few stories that have been published on Our No Sleep is
Mm.
as full novels at this point.
Mm.
And the rule of the subreddit is basically you post as if it's real and you must respond as if it's real. So people try to construct really believable stories, and the most popular and engaging ones are ones that are you could really believe into it, and they keep coming back. It's like, hey guys, it's been 6 days and this has happened, and then it's like a take on found footage, but found forum messages, I guess. There
Yeah.
are some really good stories on there, and this is really cool to hear.
Wow.
Yeah, Terry, what do you think about this news?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that Netflix would draw from like such a popular subreddit like this. Like, I think that they've been really clever with how they found their stories to kind of expand their originals library. And it reminds me about how plenty of creepypastas have been adapted for movies and TV shows and stuff. And so this feels like a natural next extension of that. And I think Netflix has made really interesting selections and smart selections with the horror that they've adapted. Not just in like the likes of horror light, if you will, with Stranger Things, but also some of the produced films that they've acquired and distributed on their platform. So I was excited by this. It seems like it will fit really well into their kind of library of content, and I think that we've seen like an evolution this past year with the types of movies that they're adapting and making as originals, instead of they had this reputation for a while of being the dumping ground for a lot of bad movies that wouldn't make it in the theaters. And so like hearing that this like really well liked and well respected story is being adapted by them is really exciting.
Side note, has anyone watched Palm Springs?
Yeah.
Yes,
So good.
it was really good.
Everyone but Seth. You
Everyone but me.
Okay.
All right, Seth, go watch it. Now's your
It's on
time.
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
It's totally worth watching.
Okay.
It's very entertaining.
It's not a horror story, but that was a good segue because
yeah.
it is on streaming.
Yeah, it's true. It made me think when you talk about original streaming films. I think this is a cool story. It's what a cool success story for the author of this story. My wife and I bought a ranch, and I guess it's not totally unprecedented. They did make a TV show based on Shit My Dad Says, a short-lived TV show with William Shatner. People remember that, and even I think Grumpy Cat got her own TV show.
Yeah.
too, as well.
A little bit
a
more
movie?
depth to this one.
Yeah, I hope so. And actually, the premise of the story sounds really cool. No spoilers, but a little bit more of it is that they buy their dream home, this ranch, and they move in, and then their neighbors tell them that some sort of a spirit will visit them at the beginning of every season, and there's all these like rituals that they have to do to keep the spirit out of their house. So it sounds pretty cool.
I just want to say shout out to whoever prepped the Shit My Dad Said B-roll.
Oh my god, I didn't even see that. We are
amazing.
We are nothing if not thorough.
We just keep it coming, keep it playing.
Wow.
Wow.
Now we're all just watching Shit My Dad Says.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody's watching it.
To the person in the chat earlier who asked if the people on NG Plus ever have a good time on the show, the answer, as you clearly can see now, is yes.
We're having a good time
Hell
today.
yeah.
Final story today is another update on the release of Tenet. Now the plan is to start to stagger its release across the globe. As reported by Variety, Tenet will be released in 70 territories, including Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Korea, Russia, and the United Kingdom on August 26th, then Canada on August 27th, before making its way to select U.S. theaters on September 3rd. Apparently, it's not going to open in China for now because China has blocked movies that are over 2 hours long. And this is a Christopher Nolan movie, so obviously it's over 2 hours long. Terry, what do you think about opening Tenet in all these other markets? Isn't that just sort of increase the risk of spoilers, of course, and piracy?
I mean, it's kind of like a little bit of well-deserved punishment that the US couldn't get our act together and, stop the spread of this horrible virus so that we can see movies. I mean, it sucks to have it release in different territories earlier, but I get it. Like, these movies need to come out. Studios need to make money. Movie theater chains need to make money so everyone doesn't go out of business. I will say we were talking about this a little bit earlier where like I'm nervous about it being released in select theaters in the US on September 4th because there have been so many delays, and it's like, okay, if all the theaters work to reopen to like be ready for Tenet coming out, but there aren't really any movies coming out after that, what does that mean? Though I keep becoming more and more endeared to the idea of like, screw it, I'll drive an hour to the drive-in to like see Tenet on the big screen, so to speak, or like the New Mutants too, if that release date doesn't shift. That technically would be coming out before when Tenet is. But I don't know. I feel like it's the price to pay in 2020 that if Tenet isn't delayed, it comes out elsewhere earlier.
How would you rate your sort of interest level in Tenet?
I mean, like 15 because I want to watch something new. I'm sick of what. It was funny, Damon. You actually, I don't know if you know this. The same night we went back and revisited Bill and Ted. Like what was it after the panel? And I was like, okay, I might as well just watch these like older movies again that I haven't watched in a while because nothing new is coming out anytime soon. Yeah,
we watched Bill and Ted this weekend too, and it was so fun. I hadn't seen it, since it came out, basically.
Yeah.
Guys, I have
Bogus Journey is actually better, but this is Tenet.
I've never seen it, but now
Bogus Journey is phenomenal.
I have a silly question from someone who's apparently been under an entertainment rock. What is Tenet about?
I don't think anybody knows.
Okay.
All I know about this movie is it just keeps getting delayed. That's all I know. And there's like a weird clip of a boat that they're running backwards, and it drives me crazy. I don't know if that's supposed to be part of the movie.
Something to do with time, Casey. I don't know, but it looks really freaking cool. It's like,
I like time. I like action. I like Christopher. Let's do it. This sounds great.
Yeah.
Most people are just
driving together.
Most people are just on board as soon as they hear that it's a Christopher Nolan movie. But yeah, I think the actual plot of this movie has been a very well guarded secret.
The cast is incredible. What they've shown so far is like really confusing and cool looking. And honestly, like I think it's pretty cool that they were doing a bunch of stuff in Fortnite around all the Nolan movies. Like it's like modern cinema, especially in a year that we can't actually go out and consume things together, like in an audience together. So why not have it be in a game that so many millions of people play and can like interact with each other? I don't know. Next, I want New Mutants in Minecraft.
Well,
There've been some music festivals in Minecraft. I mean, why not a movie?
Just creepers like bouncing very lightly, like.
Yeah, you mentioned New Mutants still has a theatrical release date as of now. I'm so happy that Bill and Ted Face the Music is going to be coming to VOD on the same day as its theatrical release. What about stuff like Wonder Woman 1984? That still has a release date in October, right?
I don't know. Does it? Like, I can't keep track anymore. We were covering Comic-Con over the weekend, and I'm not exaggerating. Like 15 movies got delayed, like in between Friday and today. So I don't know. I'm at the point that I think most of these movies are just coming out in 2021. But I'm curious. Would you guys like say New Mutants came out at the end of the month? Would you go to the theaters to see it? Like if they were all being done with like social distancing ordinances and all that, would you feel comfortable going to watch a movie in the theaters in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah.
I
don't live in a big crowded city. I live in rural Maine.
Yeah. How many people live in your town, Seth?
7,000 people in my town. It's the perfect size.
Yeah.
We all wave. That's not true.
I don't really go to movies that often anyway, so no, probably not.
Yeah.
It's expensive to go to a movie here.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I think the movie going experience is going to be greatly diminished as they reopen, which is necessary. But I, as a parent, I also going to the movies involves getting a babysitter. So like the whole thing becomes like $100 plus night, and I don't think the movie going experience when as theaters reopen is going to be worth that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not.
It's funny. So Mario Madness in the YouTube comments said I kind of forgot about some movies like Mulan, etc. And it's true.
Oh my God, I did forget about that.
Right? Because now Mulan is kind of indefinitely delayed. But it like all the normal movie marketing cycle has been so disrupted because no one knows when things are coming out. That I mean, it's like they've lost a lot of momentum for this. Would have been a huge year for movies, and at this point,
we would have already seen Black Widow.
Yeah.
Oh right, God.
We would have already seen Black Widow, and then at Comic-Con, we would have gotten probably big looks at the Eternals, Godzilla versus Kong, Dune, all this stuff. Maybe probably the next James Bond.
Monster Hunter?
Yeah, sure. No,
Kate's
sure.
like,
Hey, why not?
For sure.
at least
It's a
TV is
monster
still coming
movie?
out. Honestly, so what's really funny, tying it quickly back to the Netflix conversation, is because of the way that they like shot their movies and have had both the movies and the shows done for a while. Like Netflix is the only platform that's kind of having its normal release year, but it's having these viewership numbers that are just blowing away all its records. And it's interesting because, like, yes, The Old Guard and Extraction are good movies, but like people don't have anything else to see. And so when you don't have anything else to watch, you might as well watch the like cool new Chris Hemsworth movie that popped up on your Netflix account. And so like these films that they're releasing this summer are in their top 10 most successful movies ever, which is really interesting.
But you also see movies in the top slot as long as it's new and was promoted on the front page, like 365 Days. That wasn't a good movie, but was it number one? Yes. So,
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, listen, I watched The Kissing Booth 2 the other day because like literally what else was I supposed to do to decompress from
no,
Comic-Con?
it's
You
true.
know what? It was cute. It was fine. It's no Tenet. It's no
Have you
Mulan.
guys watched Cursed? I'm totally
No, not
derailing the
yet.
conversation.
No, it's fine. But I haven't watched
Ooh,
it.
Casey Bott in the comments is saying Doom Patrol is the best. Get HBO Max, and that's true. I've been my husband hadn't watched season 1 of Doom Patrol, and we've been rewatching it and revisiting it together. And that show is like maybe secretly the best superhero show on TV, but it was on
Whoa.
DC Universe, which no one had. It's like it's up there with The Boys, like of just like
Oh,
bonkers,
really?
insane.
I like the boys.
Yeah, I would say watch Doom Patrol. You're right, Casey, in the comments, and Casey here. Both of you. And
Is Casey-
Dexter
is Casey
89
Bott-
Prime
Is Casey
Video.
Bott a Casey DeFreitas imposter?
It's BAUT, but maybe they're just being really clever about
Huh.
it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's an AI.
Yeah. Blink twice,
Uh,
Casey Bot, if you are a robot or a real person.
4240 just says I'm watching Curse. It feels a bit low budget CW. I can kind of agree with that. That's
My
my
God.
first impressions.
The chat's getting lit now. Obi-Wan Kenobi's in here saying Lucifer is the best DC show. Okay, and Casey is just staring at us, so I don't know how to read that.
Not me,
Yeah.
Casey. Casey Bot.
Too many Caseys.
I know. Thank you,
All
Casey.
right.
For maybe
That brings us to the end of today's news, games, and more. Thanks for hanging out with us. You can find us every day of the week, Monday through Friday, same time, same place, except for Thursday this week. Terry, would you like to pitch what we're doing instead?
Well, I've hijacked NG Plus yet again, like I did last week, but this time it's for a good cause and for cute things. So I haven't publicly announced this yet. So this is a scoop for
Oh,
NG
wow.
Plus,
Ooh.
but we are doing another Animal Crossing Celebrity Island Tours that is going to be taking place all day this Thursday. It's also my birthday Thursday, so it's double for a good cause. So come check it out. We have a bunch of really fun guests this time. We have Alex Garland, the director of Ex Machina and Devs and Annihilation,
Sure.
has put over 350 hours into Animal Crossing, so we get to see his
Whoa.
island. We get Candace Patton from The Flash. We have Laura Bailey from The Last of Us 2. We have just like a bunch of people. So I really hope you guys come and check it out and see. We might have some former IGN people that you guys love who are giving island tours too. So lots to look forward to.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for hanging
excited.
out with me today, all the viewers. Thank you to Casey, Terry, Seth, and Red working behind the scenes. This is News, Games, and More. I'm Damon, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.